Hi everyone, I'm Jamie and I'm here to talk to you today about owning your fears. So fears are a really real issue that affects people in their lives. It's a thing that stops people from going for their dreams or trying something new or just really enjoying the things that they want to do. So I would like to share with you my top tips on how to break through that and really embrace owning your fears. So this all began for me early this year. I decided that I needed to let go of my fears and no longer have any fears that rule me. What I realised was that fear was no longer adding any value to my life, and to be honest with you, it probably never had added any value to me, but finally decided that this is it. It wasn't doing me any good, so it had to go. So I want to share with you my top tips for getting rid of fear, getting it out of your life, and just embracing everything that is you, and how exceptional you are, and living that life that you really, really deserve. So my first top tip is to remember that fear is an emotion. It sounds quite simple, doesn't it? But what I mean by that is fear is something we create. It's purely emotion that we've built up in our head, which is largely why people fear different things. Something that scares me won't scare you. Something that scares you won't scare me. And that proves that it's very individual. We've created it. It's an emotion. It's like joy. It's like happiness. It's like anger. It's like excitement. We've built and built and built and built on fear until we formed a solid emotion. And the reason this is key to getting over fear is it reminds you that it's something we can control and manage. So what I would advise you to do is, first of all, take a moment to remember that whatever you're scared of, whether it's I'm scared to take the next leap to my dreams or I'm scared of motorway driving, it's just an emotion. This is something you've built up inside you, so you need to peel back the layers. The first thing you need to acknowledge is that with it being an emotion, you can reframe it. Reframe that emotion. So every time you kind of come into that sense of, oh my goodness, I'm terrified, this is awful, just think, hang on a second. Take a step back. Let's reframe this. Let's think about this differently. This doesn't need to be scary. I'm going to share some of my fears with you later just to show you what I mean putting this in action. So my second tip is most fear isn't logical. So add some logic. Add some logic to your fear. My fears weren't logical fears, but they meant so much to me. So for example, one thing I have feared for quite a while is motorway driving. Yes, sounds so simple, doesn't it? Everyone else gets on the motorway, drives along, enjoys their journey. I would pull onto a motorway and cry. Not only does that make it more dangerous, but also just not a great place to be in. So add some logic. Is there really anything to be scared of here? Yes, motorways are dangerous and they're scary, but they're not often that dangerous. People get on the motorway every day, they drive down the road, it's absolutely fine. Add some logic. Which part of this is not logical? Your fear isn't logical. Think about how you can add some logic. There's a way you can do it. Fear is also largely using worst case scenario. When I thought about my motorway driving, I would always imagine the worst possible case scenario. And let's be blunt, when does worst case scenario ever happen? And when worst case scenario does happen, in the very rare instant, most things can be fixed anyway. It's very, very rare that something can't be fixed fully. So put that into context of your fear. It can be fixed. Probably won't be worst case scenario, but if it was, it can always be fixed. The key thing to remember is fear doesn't pay you a return. Fear does not pay anyone a return, so why do you keep investing so much of yourself into it? It's like throwing emotion and energy and soul and everything you have into a bottomless pit. You're never going to get a return out of it, so you need to add the essence of logic. If I'm scared of this, it's never going to give me anything back for being scared. It doesn't serve you, so get rid of it. And the big thing is, what is your fear costing you? One of the reasons we can't ignore issues associated with our fears is that fear always comes at a price. Often the price is what makes you happy. Often the price of the not going ahead with the fears and going through with it is the thing that makes you really happy, whether it be following your dreams. Or for me, it was, my journeys were 10 times longer because I'd avoid the motorway. I had an element of shame about being scared of the motorway. It made me quite unhappy, if I'm honest with you. I couldn't just get on the motorway and go see a friend. I would always make an excuse or book a train or do something to not get on that motorway. What is fear costing you? Because I'm telling you now, it's costing you far, far more than you expected. What would your life look like if you were no longer afraid? What would it look like if you just did that thing you were scared of, or you just went for it? Imagine if it all worked out. You need to picture that and picture, well, that's the cost. And are you willing to keep putting up with that cost? Fear is an excuse we tell ourselves to stop us getting where we need to be. It is an excuse. Just like laziness is an excuse. I'm tired, I'm busy. They're all excuses. Fear is also an excuse. Don't glorify fear. It's just an excuse. Your goals and dreams are in your head for a reason, and you need to embrace those. And my last tip, and probably the most important one, is to take action. You have absolutely nothing to lose. So to get over my motorway fear, I'd like to be bold and tell you that I just got on the motorway and drove and my whole life changed. That's not what happened. I accidentally went on the motorway multiple times. So I would be pulling off into a road and I'm going down this way, convinced it's going to be an A road, which I'm fine with, straight onto the M1. And honestly, the fear at first was petrifying, but I survived. Okay. And then the next time that happened, it was less scary. And then the next time that happened, all accidental, of course, it was less scary. Until the point where you realise that there was nothing to be scared of in the first place. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is do it afraid. Whatever it is that you don't want to do it even if you're terrified. For months I mulled over the idea of just getting in the car and doing it, and that wasn't going to happen. You need to just stop thinking about it, go out and do what you're afraid of. There is nothing to lose. Fear isn't logical and it's just emotional. Take those top tips and apply them to yourself and just go and do it. Don't let your fears own you, because if you do, there's nothing you can achieve with that. So you're an exceptional human being. You're going to go and do amazing things and do it afraid. Thanks so much, and I really, really hope these tips helped you. Bye.